Welcome back to FTL Fridays. We are continuing with the Osprey1, the Federation cruiser. We are starting Sector 3, and we just finished up with a nebula, and it was not very lucrative. We ended up getting out of there with basically an upgraded ship, but no extra weapons, no anything really worth anything. So instead of going 3 straight nebulas, we're going to slip up here and go into this abandoned hostile sector, then come back down for the nebula, and then go hostile, civilian, civilian, and then the mothership. Odds are we probably won't even make it here, similar to what we saw with the Taurus. We just don't have a very powerful ship. We don't have weapons that are really able to take anybody down quick enough, and we're not earning hardly any scrap, so we can't even really update our artillery cannon at all. So we need to have a very, very good Sector 3 here. If we don't have a good Sector 3, Sector 4 and 5, they're going to pick us apart. Because if we don't have attack, we're pretty much screwed. Even though we have decent defense to start with, we need that attack. So there's a distress here. This one only... I can hit up this one, and then come back down to distress. I think that would be okay. So we'll do this just to stay ahead of the fleet and hit as many nodes as we can. And then there's a Lanius ship here. So the last time that I had a Lanius ship and it gave me an option, I tried to avoid it and they attacked me anyways. So in this case here, I'm just going to attack them flat out and let them know who's boss. Okay, so they have a shield, 1-layer shield, and they have missile weapon. They have a heavy laser. So what I'm going to do is we'll go auto attack on their weapon system. And then if it warrants it, I will fire a missile in there too. I'm going to try and conserve the missiles because I feel like I'm going to need them in a bind. More hull damage, that's pretty much par for the course at this point. His missile is down, so if his missile comes back up, it still has to recharge. So I feel like I'm in a good spot there where I don't have to worry about too much there. 4 fuel, 16 scrap. I don't need the fuel, I need the scrap, so I think it's better off if I decline this and try and go for more scrap. Probably lose all of that fuel, but I'm not really hurting for fuel at this point. After this sector I might be if I hit up a lot of nodes. And he just managed to get that off. Son of a bitch. He must have switched his order of weapons because that one was down before. But I guess that's tactics on his part. I don't tend to switch the order of mine too much, but the computer's AI can do whatever it wants because it is AI, and you know, it switches things. More junk. Just nothing lucrative at all. Nothing here either. So now we just got to wiggle our way through these things here. There's a lot of nodes here. I'm just going to go straight through the middle and we'll see what other adjacent nodes are. Alright, so merchant says reshape metal, inquire about the process. So playing Russian roulette, so we can get a drone. We don't have a drone thing. We can get a weapon, or we can get an augment. Now I can't remember if these are randomized or not. I've only had this instance come up a few times. Every single time I've taken the weapon though, and most of the time it's reasonable. It's not going to give you one of those hardcore weapons like the Vulcan. It's more likely to give us some sort of a shitty beam weapon, probably even like the bio beam, or even something like one of those teleporting bombs. So I mean, we do need a weapon better than the burst laser, so I'm just going to roll the die and take that because I don't know what the augmentation is going to be. It's probably going to be like a shielding type thing where they negate some of the damage. Yeah, ion stunner is just not that good. So it drains and it locks systems. I mean, I can equip it. I mean, I don't have the scrap to power it up. It's super cheap, so I'll keep it. But honestly, literally any laser would have been better. Like any laser would have been better than this here, because I need something that does actual damage. And of course there's a store right there then too. So that's what hurts the most, is the fact that I spent 50 scrap on that, which basically means that I can't buy anything at the store. If I sell that ion stunner, I probably only going to get about 20 scrap for it. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this now. He's got a teleporting bomb. Hopefully it's just a fire bomb or something. We'll do this again and just try to take out his weapons and hope our artillery can take some stuff out. Dual laser fire, got that taken care of. He switched his order of things. I saw that it was supposed to go down, but it didn't, and then this one went down because it was on cooldown. So he's going to fire this off unless I stop him, which I did. And it's back up again too. This guy is... couldn't tell what that did. If it actually... I don't think it did hull damage. 17 scrap, 3 fuel. Nah, he can die. I'm kind of on a mission to kill every single one of these guys now because I've been getting such bad luck. I need weapons and I need scrap, and offering surrender is not going to help that. Fortunately, I'm saving on missiles by whittling them down that way. 34 scrap, a little bit better. More missiles. Distress. I want to do the distress, but then that's gonna... honestly, the store's probably not gonna have anything anyways. We can go... next one will be here, then here. I don't think I'll be able to get back to the store, but the distress seems like the better option at this point anyways. It's unlikely that the store is going to help me. It hasn't so far, so yeah, let's just keep on keeping on. I'm actually going to send both of these. I can't have him shooting these missiles at me. And if he targets my weapon systems, I'm glad he didn't. But I'm going to take him down a peg or two. Missiles and a little bit of scrap. Nope, he is going down. Missile won't kill him. Actually, let's send the missile into here. It's a hull missile, so it does more damage here. Forgot about that. It does 2 damage, but it does twice as much damage on systemless rooms. So it did 4 damage there. That was enough to kill him. So, gotta think things through sometimes. So I'm here. Well, I guess I could backtrack this way if I want to hit the store. So it's an empty node. The next one is going to be about here. Yeah, I'll take the hit on the energy, or on the fuel, and just hit up the store. Based on what it would have just been inside the fleet, I think, so I couldn't have gone at any other route. So I can at least sell my ion stunner and hope for something else. More crew members, bunch of junk, more junk. The only good thing out of here is hacking. I have drone parts to use it, but I don't know. If I buy drone control, this comes with a combat. This is 85, and it comes with a combat. So combat requires 2 to power. That's going to cost me 50-ish. I'm just going to buy that. I need drone control, so I'm going to sell this worthless ion stunner. 17. We're going to buy drone control, and then we will save here. We'll buy 2 energy. I'll buy 1 energy because I can't afford 2 energy. Alright, so it's going to be tough to equip that. We'll have to pull from our engines, but at least we get a little bit of extra attacking. We've been lacking in attack for so long that we may be already doomed to fail. So, oh, and how about that? A little bit of buyer's remorse to rub it in our face then too, because there's another store. So in the interest of not having buyer's remorse, I'm just going to skip this altogether and just hit up these 3 nodes to end. But I absolutely hate when that happens. So sometimes when there's not anything in the store, rather than just buying and buying something that's in there, back out one section, take a look at the jump and see if there's another adjacent store. This happens to me more often than I can count, and I always forget to really think it through. But the drone system, I did need that, so I definitely needed that. So alright, there's no damage to the hull and it appears powered down, so we can scan for life forms, power up and attack. Let's do some scanning, see if anything happens. Oh, they just attack us and they're going to hit us with a flak cannon, so that's always nice. So I'm sending everything I got at their weapons. This thing here takes a while to charge. So I'm hoping that I can get my shot off before it charges up. It's not something you want to mess around with. We saw it on the Taurus that I was using last time, that the flak cannon's pretty awesome. And he got it off. Fortunately, he missed everything, so I'm happy about that. Alright, 6 missiles, 20 scrap, and a drone part. 6 missiles is good. That'll put me at 17. But I need the scrap, so I'm going to say, nope, screw you, Mr. Lanius. Throw the hull missile in there. I don't mind spending a few missiles here and there. My ultimate goal with this ship is to not need missiles, so when I get to the point where I have weapons to replace the missiles, ideally I would have used nearly all of my missiles anyways, and then, get the most efficiency, essentially. Alright, so we got one more here. And a little bit of scrap and a drone part. I like that. Nice to finally find a friendly face. Alright, the fleet is far enough behind. I'm going to hit up this bottom node here first, and then I'll be able to exit. So, drones, shields, and attack. It's just a heavy laser. Nothing really overly complex there. Doesn't have anti-combat drone, so it's a good thing to always look at this here, because I almost put up my combat drone. That would have just been a wasted drone part. So we'll see how the weapon situation goes here first. With the burst laser, I feel like I'm going to be able to outlast this ship no matter what. He only has a heavy laser, and he's not attacking anywhere else. So I could just leave this on auto fire, and he's toast. So I don't need to waste any missiles. I don't need to waste my drone. Just let my shitty little burst laser do it. And then artillery beam will finish them off too, because there's a lot of adjacent rooms. So as long as the artillery beam doesn't go like vertically right here or horizontally right here, it should hit at least 4 rooms. Ideally, it would go right across here and hit 5 rooms. 21 scrap for fuel. No, sorry. I'm not taking any more surrendering. It would have to be an incredibly good deal to take a surrender at this point. 32 scrap, 2 missiles, I'll take it. Alright, let's exit out of here, see if we get anything here. And no, we did not. Oh, here we go. Search among the stores. And we found a drone. How about that? At the very least, I can kill him. So that's not the end of the world. A little laser and a little ion thing. I think we're going to be alright there. We have dual shields. But we are also heading into Sector 4. We're going to have to we're probably going to have to bump up our shields to level 3. If we want to hang in there. The downside is we just don't have the scrap for it. And we've been sitting on that level 2 artillery beam forever now. I don't feel like we're ever going to get that maxed out. And there's no scrap to even buy and install another weapon. It just seems like it's been poor scrap acquisition this entire journey so far. And that ultimately makes for an extremely weak ship. We haven't found really any weapons. We haven't found anything that's going to really benefit us. And most of these things are just low scrap turnout. So next sector is going to be our nebula again. So the only thing that I can think of as far as the next nebula goes, because I have so many systems, I feel like I should just buy a couple of extra energy just to have them. But the thing is, ultimately, where those energy going to be used when I actually get the systems? I would need another weapon at some point, so I know that I'm going to have to try and fill out this weapon loadout here. So buying 2 more energy is ultimately going to be, necessary in the long run. So it's not a bad purchase, and since I can't find any other weapons, there's not really much I can do. So we'll hope that there's decent stuff in that nebula, but I will buy 2 energy heading in there. And actually, I don't really need 2 per se. I do have 2 spare ones for my combat drone. So we'll hit up a couple of nodes. We'll see what the map looks like first before we go spending willy-nilly. But that's going to be in the next video. So we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.